You're listening to Keith Engle, the host of TGI Sports Talk on the National Streaming Sports Roku channel.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
Good afternoon, everybody. Keith Engle here for TGI Sports Talks. Whoa, I need a microphone. Good afternoon, everybody. Keith Engle here for TGI Sports Talks MLB update. Gosh, that mind's a terrible thing to waste, isn't it? Hope everybody's doing well. We are what? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Where are we? 2+ weeks into the Major League Baseball season. Some interesting stuff going on. Dodgers are showing they're human. They're only going to win 110 games. But the NL West, proving a surprise. The Padres in first place, the Giants in second, the Dodgers in third. Won't last. I did like the Giants myself in this division, so we'll see what happens. They're a bit of a surprise. Who else is hot? The Cubs are hot. 7-3, that's hot. Giants 8-2, Padres 7-3 in their last 10. Brewers 7-3 in their last 10. Who's not? Cardinals, Orioles 3-7, 3-7. White Sox 1-9. Who'd figure? Maybe they'll make another run. The A's playing at a minor league stadium. They're playing Major League Baseball. Quotation marks. In a minor league stadium. They're 3-7 over their last 10. And the Braves were 3-7, I think, in their last 10, but still an improvement. They're 3-9 overall. But listen, the Braves will be fine. Acuna's getting his knee checked next week. Strider had a dominant performance in, I think, his last minor league start. We'll see him maybe before the end of the month now. He'll be a player in that NL Cy Young Award. Anyway. Fun. What do you guys got to say today, though? That's the question. We're going to have a quiet hour, or are we going to have a busy hour with you guys? Let's take a look what's going on. Yankees, by the way. So the AL East. Yankees are 7-5, but they're not winning unless they hit home runs. Torpedo bats. Stop. I mean, you still got to hit the ball. Chisholm's hitting, 180. And they can't pitch. The starting rotation's average is close to 7 runs a game. Rondon, I've told you. Yeah, he had a better second season last year during the regular season. Was not good in the World Series. I told you he was going to be a problem the day he signed. And I got arguments from my one of my Facebook friends who follows the show, I think, usually reaches out to me through Messenger. And I see Chris F. Grave here. I'm not talking about you, my friend. This person shall remain nameless for the moment, but always tries to, push my buttons. He'll ask me a question just so that he can argue with me. He told me how great Rondon was going to be. You're seeing who Carlos Rondon is. Still the Yankees in first place, 7-5, 23 run differential, which, they're winning games 20-9, but losing games. The bullpen hasn't been great. The rotation's been worse. Blue Jays off to an 8-6 start. Speaking of Chris F. Grave, I'll get to your comment in just a second. Vlad signs 14-year, $500 million extension. Going to be interesting to see how this affects other free agents. Kyle Tucker Alonso, two that really come to mind. I didn't think he was going to get this kind of money without hitting free agency, but he did. And the key to players after this season is how willing are owners going to be to go long term with a work stoppage most likely on the horizon in 2026. Chris got his candy corn Friday for the Friday afternoon roundup. Good for you. Tigers getting better and better with injuries clearing up. I was going to move on there. So just to finish up the East, and we'll get there in a second. Let me just say hello to Chris. I'm sorry, I said hello to Chris F. Gray. Hello, Scott Kobe. How are you, my friend? Masters betting is huge, by the way. You can call me Mr. Brackets. You weren't there for your congratulations, my friend. You did win. Scott did win both of to get off topic on two things. And I'll get back to the Tigers, Chris. This is what we do on my shows, right? We just bounce. Congratulations again to Scott, who won both the men's and women's brackets, the TGI Bracket Challenge. Great job. Repeating what Rick Sherlock did last year. So congratulations to Scott. And Rick was the runner-up in both pools. So he continues his mastery, not top master this year, but mastery. And the Masters, it's getting fun, man. Great start by Justin Rose, still leading, but Rory McIlroy shot 1 under on the front. So far, he's 5 under on the back. He has made some impossible and just awesome shots on this back nine. Well played by Mr. McIlroy. DeChambeau is there. Scheffler's there. I want to see if my boy, let's see, the cut line's probably going to be 2. I'm getting off topic here. I understand. I apologize. I'm trying to find, he may not be too far along because he played early yesterday. I'm looking for, and somebody can give me this without me looking for it because I go back to baseball. It'd be great. I'm looking for Freddie. I want to know where Freddie is, and I want to know where Bernhard Langer is, one of my favorite golfers of all time, by the way, his last Masters. So anyway, back to baseball. Take that in Venmo winnings. You can. I can't write a check for 0. Me and Rick called. He gave me some tips. That's nice. There's Rick. Probably we're talking about Billy and I. Either. I wasn't talking about either one of you guys. It's somebody that you guys don't know. He pops into the show irregularly, rarely comments, but he'll send me questions about the Yankees, and it's just to really start an argument with me. He asked me questions about cruise ships and trying to get an argument with me. He just likes to argue. Maybe it's me. Langer and Couples both +1. Thank you. I was having trouble finding them. So I think the cut line, and Scott, you can help me. It was +2. It's got a ways to go. There's Malerk. It's not you either, by the way. Not here. Anyway, Chris F. Gray, where were you? Where were we? Chris was asking about the Tigers. Tigers are playing better baseball. They're 7-3. I didn't mention them in my little quick roundup. They're 7-3 in their last 10, playing much better baseball. I like this team. Where did I pick the? Let me pull out my trusty notes from our preview show that went through when I did. I think I picked the Tigers to win that division. I did. Tigers to win the AL Central. They're leading right now after 12 games. So I'll stop the season. Anyway, let me back up for a second. Back to the American League East. Red Sox 7-7. What a catch by the center fielder. What's that kid's name, Scott? Oh, my God, what a catch yesterday. That guy closed on a ball like Bullet Bob Hayes. My God. Rays and Orioles bring up the rear. I was talking to Malerk earlier, who's a big Orioles fan, and told him, got to relax. Cut lines jockeying between +1 and +2. So Langer, Freddie, right on the cut line. I want to see him make the weekend. That's all I want. I root for old guys. You figure it out. So the Orioles are going to be fine. You know, their starting pitching is not good right now, but they've got some guys that are hurt. You're going to have some good pitchers come back off the disabled list here. See who they got here. Who's out for this team right now? By the way, Westbrook is day to day now. You got Eflin going to come back probably in a month or so. He's got a lat strain. He's on the 15-day, but he's going to come back. Who's the other pitchers I'm thinking of, though? Grayson Rodriguez will be back at some point. Looks like maybe soon. Going to have another bullpen session on Monday. Somebody else I was thinking of that was Trevor Rogers will be back. Kittredge will be back. I think this team is fine. I really do. Do they lack a frontline number one starter? Yeah, they do, but maybe somebody will step up. But their bullpen with Batista and Cano, tremendous. They'll be fine. Let me get back to the going through these standings real quick, and I'll get back to your comments in just a second. So post anything you have. In the Central, I said the Tigers 7-5, 7-3 in their last 10, playing good baseball. The Royals 7-6. Had them second. The Guardians are now on a 3-game winning streak. They've evened their record at 6-6. I'm sorry, the Indians. Did I slip up and say Guardians? I meant the Indians. Sue me. Twins are 4-9. Rocco Baldelli. The Twins got off to this kind of start last year. They rebounded very well, played really well in the second half. I'm not sure Rocco Baldelli. They were calling for his head last year. This team has the kind of April and early May they had last year. Rocco may not survive it. And the White Sox are 2-10. It's not too early to give you their expected winning percentage. This was a weekly event last year, as you remember. And I think we'll do it starting already. It's never too early to start with the White Sox. The White Sox are now, whoops, that can't be right. 162 times 0.167. They're on a pace to win 27 games. How's that? That'd be a record. 135 losses. I know there's 12 games being played, but it's never too early to root for a new losing losses record. We've done it I think I've done it since this show started. The A's were my target till last year, and the White Sox outdid my expectations. So congratulations to them. Let me finish up the American League, and I'll get to a couple comments. Rangers 9-4, a bit of a surprise for me. 7-3 in their last 10. The Angels, one of the bigger surprises in baseball, but let's not forget they got off to a decent start last year. Mike Trout not hitting yet. If he stays healthy and starts to hit, maybe this team hangs around 500. I doubt it. They're 8-4 at the moment, 7-3 in their last 10. The Astros, 5-7. Don't worry about the Astros. Again, we wrote them off in April and early May last year, and Seattle and Texas couldn't hold them off. Jose Altuve, by the way, had his first 5 strikeout game in the first 5 strikeout game in the American League this past week. Also, I think he's the shortest man to hit a home run off the tallest man. He hit a home run off a reliever. I can't remember the name. 6'9" he was, so. And Altuve is 4'9", as you know. I'm sorry, 5'9". So Malerk's 4'9". The Mariners off to a slow start at 5-8. Love their pitching. Not crazy about their offense. I do have them winning this division. And the Athletics 5-8 playing in that minor league stadium. We'll go to the National League in just a second. Skubal's pitching like last year's Skubal, although Kansas City is getting really good pitching from Bubik. Very good call. I love Skubal. I didn't pick him to win the Cy Young this year because it's so hard to repeat. And there's so many factors that can come into play. Who did I pick? I picked Walker. I'm sorry, that's comeback player here. Cy Young, I had Logan Gilbert from Seattle, actually. But Skubal's a great pitcher, man. He is tough. Just don't get hurt. We know about pitchers. Rafaela, thank you. I couldn't remember the name. I saw that video this morning, and I was like, whoa. You got to see it. He looks like Speedy Gonzalez catching up to this ball for all you old folks out there. I am old. Yes, you picked up on that pretty quickly. Why I root for old guys. Come on, Freddie. He's not named the feature groups. I got McElroy on the TV again. He is just playing lights out. He's been one of the featured groups that Paramount's following. You had several. If you have Paramount Plus, it's the only way to be watching this. There's also a site online, a master site you can watch the featured groups, watch Amen Corner. Got 4 or 5 different viewing options, and it's really cool. If you love golf, you love the Masters, it's a great way to watch some golf. Whoa. Wow, more nice. Sorry, somebody just pitched in. Hello, Chris. Spencer Torkelson responding to being rushed to the bigs. Rushed? Probably. But listen, I don't know that I can. Jackson Holiday was probably rushed last year. Torkelson had a pretty good year, didn't he? When he first came up. I will agree with this point before I even look. He is responding and having a nice start to the season here. Let me just quickly check out Mr. Torkelson. I want to see about I just want to check out the rushed comment. That's all, Chris. Not that he's hitting 318 right now with only, let's see, that's hitting away. What's he hitting for the season? Oh, sorry. Hiccups again. I got to tell you, if it wasn't for the hiccups. 2025. So far, he's got 3 homers, 7 RBIs. He's hitting 311. His OPS is 1,037, 1.037. Very good start for Spencer. So I guess the only reason I would, he never hit for much average. 2 years ago, he did hit 31 homers with 94 RBIs. It's the only, he only hit 233. With a 313 on base percentage. That's not good, Chris. So maybe rushed, but again, last year was a disaster for him. 219 with 10 homers. They sent him back to the minors. So he needed some more seasoning. So I'll give you that one. 25 years old, still probably going to be a star in this league. There's our boy, AC Knight. 2 Red Sox fans here. I don't know if I could take it. Where do you start taking notice on how guys are doing and how teams are doing? Get worried or excited about them. To be honest with you, before I get too excited, it's like Memorial Day for me. Yes, if you're the Braves or the White Sox, right? 2-10. I know what I'm doing with the White Sox. They're gonna stink. Will they be 121 losses bad? Probably not, because that's a historic number. But for Braves fans, as long as you don't continue to play 3-9 baseball until Memorial Day, that's always been my place. That weekend is when I start to say, okay, this team's for real. This team's in trouble. This guy's for real. This guy might need to get sent down. Now, can teams afford to wait that long? Not really. If they're going really bad, they can't wait that long to react sometimes. But as a fan, I try to be patient. And if my team isn't totally stinking up the joint, I'm not sure what the Yankees are this year. I'm not. I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. I've got them finishing 3rd behind Baltimore and Boston. And I didn't have Boston or the Yankees making the playoffs. Or did I? I'm sorry, I got Boston as a wild card. But I'm not sure what to expect out of either one of these teams, quite frankly. And that's an example where I got to see the Memorial Day, and we'll see what it starts to be. And same thing with players, right? Torkelson off to a nice start to pinpoint a guy. Trout struggling a bit, although he's hit with some power early on. I think he's got 4 or 5 dingers. So, the whole thing with Trout is stay healthy. But some of these other guys who are struggling, the Yankees starting staff, right? I'm not there. They'll know by Memorial Day whether they got to get serious about somebody coming up here and helping out. Carrasco's not the answer. Rendon is not an ace. Stroman is Stroman. Will Warren and Schmidt, I kind of like, but we're going to have to see. Scott says they're his Red Sox, by the way, AC, just to put that out. Red Sox need this trip to Chicago. There's no better place to go these days in the American League than Chicago to get healthy. Rafaela. I still can't get that out of my head. You're in 4 golf. What's the F? Leagues that cost me $15 total. I'm out. I'm at 307 total. The top 3 in 3 leagues. So I'm guessing you're talking about draft. Is it DraftKings or what is it? I don't know what DF. That's not DraftKings. That's cool though. I never do well when I do that. For years, I didn't get in one this year, and some of the guys got upset with me. But I do these pools every year for all the majors. You know, it's $100 to get in for all the majors, and it's a aggregate total. And you can pick X guys from this group, X guys from this group, X guys from this group, and, you know, lowest combined score wins. I just can't. Every year you get 5 guys, and I'll get 3 guys who will make the cut. Tiger's not in attendance at Augusta National as he continues to recover from his torn Achilles. Tiger's probably not going to be. Well, listen, Tiger will play in many more Masters. He can play until he doesn't want to play as a former champion. Similar to Bernhard Langer. He can play till his heart's content, but he'll never, ever win another Masters. Now, I said that once before. And as you know, I go by Billy Packer's axiom of I'm sometimes wrong, but never, ever in doubt. He did win another Masters after I said he wouldn't, but there's no way. It was fun while it lasted. And Chris had messaged me today. I know that in the past and I don't want to get on golf here forever, by the way, because it's a baseball show. But Chris pointed out that I have said often that I get tired of watching the Masters or any golf tournament that's being covered on TV with Tiger in it, because all I see is Tiger. It doesn't matter whether he's in the top 5 or in the last 5. So it's a refreshing for him not to be there for me. And that's not a knock on Tiger. That's a knock on the network. So let me get off golf here. Never saw this Canadian news. By the way, one more thing about golf. We'll talk about this stuff on the Sunday Stream of Consciousness. Tune in Sunday morning. We'll talk about the Masters, I swear. Freddie Couples now has the longest, consecutive years. Is it consecutive years? I think I guess it's the longest from his first to his most recent subpar round at the Masters. I don't think it's consecutive years. 42 years. His first was 42 years ago, and he was 1 under yesterday. So he beat, I think Nicklaus is at 40. I don't remember who else was with Nicklaus. I never saw this in the Canadian news. Fernando Rodney to pitch for the Hamilton Cardinals in the Independent Canadian League this year. Fernando Rodney had his, 15 minutes of fame in pro baseball. I didn't even know you had this Independent Canadian League. Years ago, there was a Can-Am League here in the Northeast with Canadian teams, and Amsterdam Rugmakers had a team. There was a team in Schenectady, team in Montreal. Tommy Lasorda played in that league. Scott's good like that. See, Scott shares, and Scott is a good man. And so AJ, you're still alive as a Red Sox fan. Daily fantasy, I see. That's cool. On DraftKings. Scott's answered all these in 5 different. I'm right on the Freddie stat. Thank you. It's hard for me to articulate. Lately I've had trouble articulating. I think it's because I'm old. Which ballpark in baseball do you compare to Augusta in golf? That's a great one. That's a great one. And there's only a couple possibilities for me today. Because All the great old parks are gone. It would have been Yankee Stadium. It's not now. Listen, to me, it's Fenway or Wrigley. I think Fenway edges them out just a bit. It's a beautiful ballpark. It's a fun place to go. They've changed some of some of the girders where you could had, there was about, I don't know, 1,000 seats in there where you couldn't see the field from where you were sitting years ago. Fenway's the one place I walked in. You walk in, and Yankee Stadium was like this for me for a different reason. In Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium, you walk through the catacombs. It was dark and dingy, and you just walk out into this beautiful, bright, as you see behind me. That's not this new stadium, but I'm talking about old Yankee Stadium. And there was a cathedral there, especially after the remodel in 76, 74, 75, reopened in 76. It was a beautiful cathedral of a stadium to me. The holy shrine. But I'm a Yankee fan. Now you've only got a couple of ballparks. Who else? Where else are you going to say? I don't want any of these fancy new stadiums. Some of them are beautiful ballparks, but I want history. We're talking about Augusta National and comparing it to baseball stadiums. It's Fenway Park. You walk, similar to Yankee Stadium, you walk up out of those tunnels and you see that wall. Any game you've ever seen on TV in Fenway where the game's being played at Fenway, it doesn't do it justice. When you walk out there from that lower level, it looks like you can reach out and touch that thing. It's a great place to watch a ball game. Seats are, except for the ones behind the girders in the old days, exceptional sight views from any place in that ballpark. Always loved Fenway. Hated the Red Sox. Always loved Fenway. Yeah, see, I'm old. Jim, you just can't say old over and over again. Bring more to the table. Chris, as I mentioned, Vlad, he brings up that the Blue Jays now stuck with Vlad, who still hasn't learned to speak English yet. Maybe he's learned to speak French. Do you speak French, by the way, Chris? I never thought to ask you. I know Quebec is where most of the French-speaking people are, but I know that Ontario also has a lot of French-speaking people. Are you one of them, by the way? Because you and I have never spoke French. I can barely speak English myself, so I'm giving Vlad a pass. I can't imagine Bo Bichette being in the budget. Bo's a free agent after this year. Listen, I don't know what to expect in the free agency market this year. With a looming work stoppage coming in 2 years, I think it's 27. I have this question every week, don't I? Upcoming MLB labor. You like the way I'm hicked on phonics here, or no? After the 2026 season. Oh, there we go. We're frozen again. How's that look on the top of my head? Is that a pretty good look for me? Oh, man. StreamYard, you're killing me. I froze again. I got to get with StreamYard. I don't freeze when I'm on. Hold on. I might have a problem. I may know what the problem is. There we go. I know what the problem was there. Oh, God. Sorry. Anyway, I don't have this problem on split screens. I don't have it when I'm on other shows, only when I do a single show here by myself. Apologize. So anyway, what I was saying was with the potential labor problems in 27, I don't know who's going to be really excited about signing guys to long-term big money deals these next two off seasons. So Vlad got in before that happened. I'm shocked he got 14 years and $500 million without hitting free agency, Chris. I'm not surprised he got it. I think it's an average of like 34 and a half, 35 million a year, something like that. Remember, I went to Perth. I can't do math. Old Celtics court, yes, not the TD Bank Center or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, so I'm thinking, Rick, as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about existing stadiums. I mean, Augusta's still here. By the way, I saw some pictures on Facebook of Augusta, say 1956 compared to today. In 56, it looks like Amsterdam Muni, which is a nice course. Don't get me wrong. But it's not Augusta National. The difference is amazing. Mostly of the floral, and it's really a beautiful golf course. It's on the bucket list. I have somebody working on, I got to get a member to invite me to play, and I've got somebody working on it. My two golf courses on my bucket list are Pebble Beach and Augusta. So anyway, the old Celtics Garden, Boston Garden, would fit. Ronnie Bear, get to go to the Ronnie Bear down in Texas. Ronnie ran one of the great taverns and in Amsterdam for years, Kiddo's Tavern. Hope you're doing well. Ronnie, we used to take bus trips out of Ronnie's place. We go to Boston, drink at the Cask and Flagon. Not good to get like a 4 or 5 hour rain delay like we had one year. I think that was your trip, Ronnie. I'm not sure. But a couple of my cohorts got tossed out of the stadium. That was back in 1986. The funny part of this story is the usher. It was Scotty J and Mark. Scott got thrown out. Mark just threw himself out to go with Scott. But the usher who was throwing him out, the guy looked like Burl Ives, a bigger Burl Ives. And we were out in the right field stands, and he was harassing the Angels bullpen. I don't know why I remember who they were playing. I feel like it was Don Sutton that he was harassing in the Angels bullpen. But they threw him out. And this usher who brought security down, I swear to God, Boston plays the Mets in the 86 World Series. And whatever game was Saturday night, I think it was the game one, maybe on a Saturday night. I'd been out. I was on my couch, fell asleep during the game. And I wake up, and they've got a close-up of the usher in right field. It's that guy. I wake up out of a dead sleep. It's the same usher that threw those guys out of the game. Ronnie, we had some fun on those trips. I think it was your trip. Fenway is the right place. I used to live right down the street from Fenway, and if you opened my bedroom window, you could hear Sherm Feller announce, and I could see the scoreboard. That had to be so cool. I mean, I grew up 200 and some miles from Yankee Stadium and had to listen to games under my pillow at night because I wasn't supposed to be listening. But I got to listen to the immortal Frank Messer, Bill White, and Scooter every night. Great times. Have you been? Can I assume you've been to the Cask and Flagon once or twice since, Scott, in your lifetime? Will you stop? Yeah, just what baseball needs, a work stoppage, right? It slipped already. I saw John Gonzalez. I didn't even do my open today. I want to thank all the groups, by the way. John Gonzalez at Sports Authorities. Greg Rawlings at America's Pastime, The Love for Baseball. Flo and the Gang at Bottom Line Sports. Ken Krause at Golf Bud, Sports of All Sorts. And, of course, Let's Talk Sports, Tanner D and the Gang. DDH, thumbs up to you. And also we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're live on National Streaming Sports Roku channel. So I didn't do any of that. Why did I bring it up? I don't remember why I brought it up now. Just what baseball needs is a work stoppage. It's John Gonzalez from the Sports Authorities had a post today or yet last night, I don't remember when he put it up, about the revenue for Major League Baseball. I'm sorry, all sports. Major League Baseball has fallen behind the NBA by a few billion. And it's not that far ahead of Premier Soccer. That's what baseball needs is a work stoppage. They don't have enough. I understand. People still go out to the ballparks. They pay outrageous amounts of money, ridiculous amounts of money at concessions. Some of the ballparks you can get a deal. But baseball does not need a work stoppage right now. They're already in trouble with their TV contracts. ESPN's dropping baseball after like 40 years. It's not a good omen for Major League Baseball. Skyrocketing salaries, unbelievable costs to go to games. The peripherals, you can get to a game fairly cheaply sometimes, but the peripherals will kill you. You could see Bo Bichette and his Milwaukee Brewers. You know, Bo Bichette might be a guy who needs a change of scenery. I love his game, but we have a shortstop. Milwaukee could use a shortstop after losing Willie Adames to the Giants this year. But I think Bo Bichette would probably benefit from a change of scenery. And if the Blue Jays don't make a run this year, they're going to tear it down. I thought it might have been this year, but this got to be the last run with this group, except for Vlad. Pitching's getting old. 3 years for Bichette. You know, he might have to get there and a make good contract. If he gets 3 years, he's going to get an opt-out after one. Similar what Alonso did with the Mets this year, let's say. He's got an opt-out after one. He signed a 2-year contract. If the owners don't get skittish, this Vlad contract is great for Pete Alonso if he has a good year this year. It's also great for guys like Bregman, who's got an option, I think, an opt-out after this year, if I'm not mistaken. Greg or AC can correct me on that. And Kyle Tucker might be the big winner in this. Muni should have a clubhouse in another 2 or 3 years. Amsterdam Muni will probably have I don't know that I'm going to live to see a clubhouse. It's so sad. They had a beautiful clubhouse there. It was awesome to come up the 18th fairway, 9th fairway, which is all uphill, and see that clubhouse. It was actually the target. You'd use it to line up your approach, assuming you hit the fairway where you should. You'd use the clubhouse and the windows, the upper windows, to line up the flag. Now you've got no sense of anything distance-wise there because it's gone. And it was a beautiful clubhouse to begin with. They could have fixed it. And it's just been a joke. We won't get into what went on there, but maybe on Saturday we'll do it. Scott Kobe's dad worked at the Cask and Flag and the Baseball Tavern in the 80s. Isn't that cool? He probably served me either a beer. I think we had some mind erasers in those establishments. And there was something with a brain. What was the other thing we used to drink all the time there? When I drank a lot. We had a lot of fun. Called John Colm, one of his Jim's past clients. I believe he's a member. Well, call him for me. I mean, he doesn't know me. I'm looking for somebody to lay the groundwork for me, Jim. Call him up. I have some other people working on this. I've been to the Cask many, many times. I got to tell you, it is it is a good place. I'm 65 now. So this rain delay was 1986. So that was 40 years ago. So I was 25, 24 years old. And we endured about a 4 or 5 hour rain delay in the Cask and Flag. And so you can imagine what it was like when we finally hit the stadium. We do need a West Point game for the group. I know it's hard. One of the group might be out. I don't even know where my standing is here, Rick. So I'll leave that for you to decipher. He probably did. He overserved me, I said, didn't I? If I didn't say that, I meant overserved me. That wasn't my fault. You need some dollars? You get me a number, you'll get reimbursed. It better be a real one, too. You hook me up with some guy who's gaslighting me. Or catfishing me, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know. Rick Hardick, how are you, my friend? Legend Stan's Club went opened in rain delay. Stan's was awesome too. At the old Yankee Stadium, Stan's across the street was a legend in rain delays for sure. I got to tell you though, Rick, no disrespect to Stan's or any of the taverns around the old Yankee Stadium. And it's not the same around there anymore. No place beats the Casket Flag. I gotta tell you, it was so much fun being there in Yankee gear, and the Yankees weren't even playing. It was the Red Sox and the Angels. The day I remember them, and I'm speaking of specifically 40 years ago, 25 years old. We had a lot of fun. Ronnie Bear must have skipped out on me. He didn't comment on whether I believe that was one of his kiddos' trips. Mark. Good to have you with us today, buddy, Rick. Thanks for popping in again. I'm glad to see you becoming almost a regular with us, and I really appreciate that. Oh, I miss the old stadium, right? Was there anything, Rick? There was. I explained to these guys earlier. I don't know if you were here. We were talking about. I think Scott Kobe had asked about. We were talking about the golf and a baseball stadium that you compare to Augusta. And I have to use today's stadiums, but I would have said, if it was still here, Yankee Stadium, if I had the old stadium, because it was nothing like coming out of those dark, dingy catacombs and seeing that bright green cathedral. It was awesome. Cask is an awesome place. I agree. I got to get back there. Is it still open, Scott? I haven't been to Fenway, and that was 40 years ago. So probably 20 years at least since I've been to Fenway. Been out to Foxborough many, many times, as you can imagine, but not Fenway. It says I would assume the Casket Flag is still open. I hope. It is a once in a lifetime experience for sure. Mind erasers, you would know you were there at all. It's still as busy there as ever. That's awesome that they're still there. There was another place that I can't think of the name of it that we'd hit. It really hasn't changed at all. That's good because so much has. I've changed a lot. Without a doubt. Longer's even. Sweet. We want to get Bernhard and Freddie playing this weekend. Baseball Tavern. The Boston Beer Works, I think, is the one I might be thinking. If it was there 20 years ago, plus. Man, we went off. This is like the Sunday stream of consciousness here today. We didn't talk much baseball. We talked, well, it's baseball, right? Oh, what else today I talked about, by the way? We talked about the Yankees and their pitching staff. First of all, score some runs without home runs, okay? Let's just think about that. And we got to get some pitchers in here. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but we need some pitchers. We talked about Vlad's extension. A couple other pieces of news. Acuna is going to see the doctors about his knee to see what the next steps are for him. So we see if he can start some rehab. Strider pitched his last rehab start was dominant the other night. And a piece of news I'm interested in, I don't know about anybody else, because I love the World Baseball Classic. I think it's awesome. I know there's a lot of people who have their reservations. I don't care. If guys get hurt, they get hurt. If they're going to get hurt there, they probably would have got hurt in spring training. But I love the World Baseball Classic. Mark DeRosa has been named the manager. He was the manager of the team that went to the finals and lost. Mike Trout striking out. You can't make it up. Mike Trout up with a chance to tie the game. Makes the last out against Ohtani. It was just classic. You can't see that. You can't get that feel. International competition has just a different feel to it than day-to-day baseball or NBA basketball. It was there since the early 90s. Yeah, then I was probably at that place. Freddie's +1. Come on, Freddie, make a birdie somewhere. They got to be early, though, aren't they? I feel like they played early yesterday. Drew's not here to hold my feet to the fire by getting me back to baseball. You know, the Angels 8-4. I'm not sure what to make of them. Let me take a quick look at. Let's see what they're doing. I got to see who's doing what, right? Again, we talked about Memorial Day weekend being my kind of my go-to date as far as when I start to think teams are for real or in trouble or players being for real. That we can't forget that the Angels got off to this type of start last year early and then faded pretty quickly. Mike Trout's not hitting. Logan Hoppe, the catcher, is leading the team in hitting at 359. Guys that you wouldn't expect to be. Taylor Ward's a nice player. He's only hitting 235. The team's not hitting a lot. They're only hitting 238, but they got 24 home runs. Trout's only hitting 205, but he's got 5 dingers. If he stays healthy, Ohape, whatever the hell his name is, I guess it's Ohape, Irish. He's got 4 dingers and 9 RBIs. That's a nice start. Who else? Tim Anderson's only hit 172. Again, some of these reclamation projects, if they don't hit, they're in trouble. Moncada hitting 190. Kevin Newman, 063. Solar, 227. He does have 3 homers and 6 RBIs. And the pitching is what's kind of carrying him. Is that going to stand up? So this is kind of the thing that I talk about, Scott. I don't know if this pitching can stand up to this. You know, Soriano, been around a while, pitching great. Kikuchi, I'm probably saying his name wrong. Where's Drew? He's not pitching that great. Does have some. He's pitching to a 5 ERA. Kyle Hendricks off to a great start. Good veteran pitcher. Tyler Anderson pitching okay. Kenley Jansen has been really good in 5 innings of play. 6 strikeouts, 3 saves. I'm just not sure they can hold this up. I don't see where they're deep enough, or quite matter-of-factly, good enough at enough positions. Again, if Trout stays healthy, that's one thing. If Ohape stays hot, that's another thing. But you're going to need, and Taylor Ward's a decent player. I would say they're the class guys. I don't expect Solar to have a huge year. I don't expect Soriano to keep up what he's doing or Hendricks to keep up what he's doing. I don't expect Moncada to be much better than he is. Yeah, he'll hit more than 190. I like Zach Neto when he gets back. I don't like a lot of the pieces here. I love Trout if he were to stay healthy. I'd love Mike Trout to get back to the postseason. Get to the postseason. I just don't know. Scott says, I wish the World Baseball Classic was in a stadium on the East Coast. Did they play in Florida a couple of years ago? Maybe two classics ago. Maybe it was the first one I'm thinking of. One of the earlier ones, and it's probably 20 years ago now. Time and I have a very head-butted relationship. But anyway, Mike DeRosa did a great job with that team and got them to the final. Almost won that game. I love it. I'm a freak I'll stay up all night watching these games. I even love some of the run-up when I get to see teams from the Netherlands and Israel and Italy playing and getting better and competing. God, do you remember those awful uniforms that the UK wore their first year in Britain? The bees were falling off the Britain side. Oh, God. What else am I missing today before I go to the rundown of the weekend games? I never did get to the National League standings today. Let me do it real quick. Phillies 8-4, Mets 8-4. Mets off to a pretty good start. I think the Mets have some pitching issues to be concerned about, but for now they're playing well. 8-4. The Marlins 6-6. That'll end soon. The Braves 3-9, but listen, they'll be fine. Cubs 9-6 in the Central. Brewers, after a brutal start, especially playing the Yankees, that opening series. They're now 7-6. The Cardinals 5-7, but only 3-7 in their last 10. Pirates. What? Listen, I saw a video, and again, I think it was on the Sports Authorities. Great group, guys. Join the Sports Authorities. John Gonzalez is the best admin out there. He put a video up of a guy, I don't know who it was, for the Pirates. He either went first or third. He's running out of triple. He slides head first in third base, and his cell phone comes popping out of his back pocket. You need any more reason to understand why the Pirates are the Pirates? Oh, my God. And the Reds, who I think I picked to win this division, I did, are 5-8. A little early to worry about them. The West, though, the Padres 10-3, 7-3 in their last 10. The Giants 9-3, 8-2 in their last 10. And the Dodgers, the poor Dodgers, only 6-4 in their last 10. They're 10-4. I think if they play 7-14 baseball the rest of the year, they'll probably win the division. They're going to win 110 games. Diamondbacks 7-6. This is the best division in baseball, even with the Rockies holding up the bottom at 3-9. So let me jump ahead. Here's what we got going on this weekend. Here's the matchups for the weekend, and give you tonight's starting pitchers. Kansas City will be at the Indians. Yes, I did say the Indians. Anybody wants to write me a letter, 10A McCown Drive, feel free. So anyway, that'll be Bubic. We mentioned earlier pitching well for Kansas City, and Tanner Beebe, newly signed extension there as well for the Indians. The Pirates will be at the Reds. Bailey Falter against Brady Singer. One of the offseason acquisitions for Cincinnati, trying to bolster their starting rotation. Atlanta will be at Tampa Bay. Elder against Taj Bradley. The Giants will be at the Yankees. Interesting matchup this weekend, and a nice matchup tonight. And Robbie Ray and Marcus Stroman. Toronto will be at the Baltimore. Nice Eastern Division matchup. That'll be Bowden Francis against Sagona for the Orioles. Oriole fans, I think you should relax. You got a good team. You got a good manager. Just stay calm. The Nationals will be at the Marlins. Mitchell Parker against Edwin Cabrera, coming off the the DL. We're not politically correct here. And if that's a problem, again, you can write me 10A McCown Drive. I won't give you the city and state because you'll come to my house and toilet paper or egg my house or something. So, where was I? Cabrera off the DL, one of the great young pitchers. This team, as messed up as this organization is, they keep producing great young pitchers. And they're scattered all over the major leagues. Just look around. The Red Sox will be at the White Sox. A nice place to get healthy, as we talked about. Sean Newcomb at Davis Martin, against Davis Martin. The Angels, the aforementioned Red Hot Angels, will go to the Astros. Kokonanowicz against Melanco. The Angels, I did say that already. The Tigers against the Twins. Reese Olson against David Fiesta. The Phillies will be at the Cardinals. Aaron Nola against Palente. The Rockies will be at the Padres. Marquez, this guy pitches forever, against Nick Pivetta. The Brewers at the Diamondbacks. Undecided, he's always good, against Eduardo Rodriguez. Texas and Jacob deGrom will be at Seattle, and Bryce Miller, who I just picked up for my Nose Pickers Fantasy League just this morning. I like this pitching staff in Seattle. The Mets will be at the A's and playing in front of 3,000 people in Sacramento. Griffin Canning for the Mets. One of their he's a great story. He was one of their big prospects, and he kind of fell off the radar, and now he's back and starting in the major leagues. Cubs will face the Dodgers. Matthew Boyd against Yamamoto. That's all tonight's games. I see Dave Gayette. Good afternoon, Dave. Ian Anderson is in the bullpen for the Angels. I forgot to mention that when we were talking about the hot Angels. Ian Anderson was traded to them just before the season started and has been pitching out of the bullpen. He could get some starts before we know it. Wish the world. What is this? Oh, we already talked about that. Okay, so good stuff. Got a couple minutes left. What was I going to talk about? What I miss? Everything I wanted to touch on, I think we touched on. We had some fun talking about baseball stadiums, a little bit of Masters golf. Looks like Rory's still 5 under on the back here. Moved win 2 shots in the lead. A lot of good golf being played. I did want to say something. We'll see you Saturday or Sunday with the Sunday Stream of Consciousness. We'll talk about baseball, the Masters, the NFL draft, a lot of stuff to talk about. It's your show, and it's your comments that drive the Sunday show. We have a lot of fun. Is he through 18? I didn't see it. It came up quick, and I didn't see it, Scott. Thank you for that update. Rory was out early today. So, again, we got a lot to talk about, and let's see. I want to say thank you, too. I had an encore one-on-one interview with Jim Graziano, former standout at South Carolina back in the 70s under Dick McGuire. It was an interesting conversation with Jim. Rewatching it, it was a little more controversial than it was felt in the moment with some of his comments about his college recruitment and Frank McGuire in general and some other players and coaches around the NCAA and why he felt his career got stifled a bit by Frank McGuire and some other factors at South Carolina. So anyway, Scheffler and Connors at 6 under halfway through. Scheffler's fun to watch. He's already got 2 Masters. Do we even know who he was 4 years ago? In any event, guys, great job today. Great participation. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Scott and AC, Chris, Rick Hardick, Rick Sherlock. Who did I miss? Dave Gayette. I know I'm missing somebody I should be mentioned. Anybody else I missed? Ronnie Bear, the immortal Ronnie Bear, popped in, gave us a comment. And guys, it's been fun. You guys have the gardener. Thank you, Jim. We had a lot of fun as always. See Sunday, 8:30 a.m. More fun. Your show. You drive it. Let's have it. Keith Engle for MLB update. TGI Sports Talks MLB update. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now, with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
You're listening to Keith Engle, the host of TGI Sports Talk on the National Streaming Sports Roku channel.